Hey, how's it going, sirs? Got some fanciness going on. We got a face cam finally, and this video is gonna be a little different than normal because I figured instead of just showing what I've got, I'll go through the process of doing something. Maybe I'll try to stream something later, but right now, just make sure I'm recording good. Yep. Uh, I am going to add an animation. Hopefully I haven't already done it. That the will be like a little exclamation point. Actually, it looks like I already did it. Added it. Yeah, I'm gonna add this to the enemy when Remy gets in range. So to do that, we'll most likely have to create an object that will spawn over top the enemy whenever he sees it and just plays a quick little animation. We can also, this object could also double as maybe like what we'll eventually use to spawn um stars for when the enemy gets stunned or something like that, or maybe show numbers for damage if we end up doing that. But for now, so we got button prompts charging. So let's duplicate this and base it off of. So the animation that we needed was under hit sparks. So we're going to go to back to the objects. We're going to change this animation from whatever it was from button prompt. So let's just say enemy visual prompts, and then select there, and then I think it was under effects, and then hit spark. Yes, object group. So let's lay this neutral. Not going to be anything because we don't want to be detected or anything like that. We're going to get rid of this is the default. And so we're going to set here. We're just going to leave it blank. Nothing happens. And then we're going to add an action because we're going to use multiple ones. And so we're just going to say this as exclamation point. It's actually we'll come back to this. Like I have an idea for something else, but we'll come back to this. We'll move this up here, here. Gonna add another one. Let's call this destroy. Make it red, and then destroy object. Here, change the action to exclamation point. And then, so I want this to pop up. So right now I can see the full animation is half a second long. I want it to actually stay up for a little bit longer than that. So when the animation plays out and gets to this frame, it's going to stop on this frame because it's not a loop. over here. You can see, click here, loop count, nothing. It's just once. It's just going to play once and it's going to stop at the end of the frame because I haven't told it to do anything else. So we're going to here add a link to, so I could click if motion animation plays to end, it'll go straight to here, but I don't want to do that because I want it to wait a little bit. So we're going to go here, change, so after a certain amount of time passes, we're going to do 0.5 seconds, half a second, and then also finish showing all motion. And then change this to if all conditions are met. It's going to go here. And then it will destroy the object. We'll have the stun thing here eventually so that I could just add this, change to gray, and say stun. And I don't think I'm going to need this. So just be here, goes to there, and then whenever I generate the object, I can just pick which action I want it to do. And I want to make sure it's not affected by gravity. And basic settings also double movement and jump. Uh, where is gravity? Gravity, yeah, gravity is 0. So now this will pop up above his head, this will generate the object or the exclamation point. Then once it finishes, waits half a second, it's going to destroy it. But now I need to actually call it whenever the player gets in range. So right now he is, I'm not sure what this moving away thing is for. Yeah, I don't know. So right now it stands there and it checks if detects the player. Not sure what player 0. Oh, is that? I think that's the blocking, but I'm not sure. Yeah, don't know what this second one is, but so right now it's looking for the player. Then it's going to shoot. But I want it to have a in between or a sort of, if it detects the player, it's gonna do, it's gonna make the exclamation point. So detect player. Because right now it'll detect the player and then he'll move forward, and shoot. But I don't want it to do that. I don't want him to make the exclamation point every single time. I want it to only do it when the player gets in range. So we have to make an action to where it'll detect the player, then go to the idle, and then do this loop. So this will have to be here. Detect player. We'll change this to from idle to searching. And they're both pretty much going to be the same. It's just if he's not in range, so copy this and paste the link. So essentially, he's going to discover he's going to have he has a vision right here, the field of vision, where he detects a player, just a cone in two different directions. When he discovers the player through the vision, we're going to have him make an exclamation point, and then it's going to go down to here. So this here, after a certain amount of time passes, is going to go over to here, and then this shouldn't be after a certain amount of time. This would be discovered object, detect player, player group, then detect player. So yeah, if here, this is essentially if he if it doesn't see the player, like right here, this is not equal. So this is detecting the player. If it's not equal, it's just going to be up to here. If it does detect the player, it's going to go to here. You're going to have to make set as a default action. It's going to go to here. We're going to generate an object. Let's see. Where is it? Generate an object. It's going to be the general effects and our enemy visual prompts, and change from the default action to the exclamation point. And we could use the center of an object, or we could use a connection point. Right now, we're just going to do center of an object and then press OK. So it's going to be here. If it detects a player, it's going to go down. It's going to generate the object. It's going to go down to here, and it'll do the shoot. So let's save this really quick. Also, I need to make sure that, all right, yeah, it's not restore. So The thing you always want to make sure is when you have objects that are going to be destroying themselves, that they don't, it says restore on destruction condition. Don't want this anytime for just hit sparks or anything like that. So you want to keep this as none. And so now we can play and test this. You're ruining my recording. Uh, is my controller plugged in? Something just happened. Why did he fall to the ground? What? Oh, I understand. So, uh, I didn't assign an animation to it. Let's try this again. It's a learning process. I am not a professional. Okay, yep. So there, see his detection range, and he did the exclamation point. Up, yeah. So got an issue there. We did exactly what we didn't want to do. Okay, I need the intermediary because every time he's going back to this, the searching, it's making this. So let us, so changes from searching to, yeah, so let's change this to in range, detect player, idle, detect player. So we're gonna cut this, cut, paste, cut, paste link. So that, oops, no, I messed that up. So actually, don't need that. I'm gonna create a shortcut. Go to here, put that there. So then, and then add link unconditionally here. This. I'm gonna cut that. And paste it there. So, and then this will be the set as a default action. And let's just put this back to where it was, even though, because I don't know what it was for. So let's just leave it how it used to be. really need to make better notes, but yeah, not, it's gotten a little bit more complicated, but so essentially when, and this needs to be detected player now. So it's going to be idle. If they detected a player, it'll create the exclamation point. Then after it creates the exclamation point, it's going to go to inner range, and it'll shoot if he's still in range. And if he's not in range, it'll go to idle. So then, now, so this should work. And then I'll finish up, I'll clean up the exclamation point. So, in range? No, that did not work. Something's going wrong. Discovered objects, so it should be detect player. So discovered the object. What did I mess up? I have no idea how long this video has been going, but hopefully it's not too long. Okay, so they're out of range, come back in, creates the exclamation point. Out of range, come back in, creates the exclamation point. Out of range, come back in, there we go. And again, so this, instead of being change unconditionally, after conditions are met, this needs to wait. I want it to wait a little bit after a certain amount of time passes. Let's do 0.3. Just to give it a little bit of time to complete the animation for the exclamation point. And yep, walks in to the exclamation point. All right, so now that that's right, here, generate object. Let's change this and let's go negative 64. So it's up a little bit more. So that should be a full block. Is it 64? Like the blocks are 64 pixels wide. So there should be a full block above him. Uh, no. So I'm not sure why that doesn't work sometimes. So let's do this differently. Let us, so it's idle. Let's go to the animations, go to our enemies. So we have a connection point there. Let's add another one. And let's rename this to prompts. Add a keyframe and put this right above his head right there. And then let's go to the hit sparks, the exclamation point, and we're going to resize this. Select all the frames. Messed up. Try it again. Select all the frames. We're going to scale this down to about 75%. Then going to go back to here, and this is where it's generate. We're going to change it to use a connection point, then change it to the prompts. And just put that at 0 just in case. Okay, save it one more time because we haven't saved in a while. And if this works, that will be the end of this video. There it is. And yeah, perfect size. I think I need to stay out for a little bit longer. There it is. Yep. And that's it. Pretty sweet. All right. See you guys. Wrong button. No. Why? No. It's staying in.